8:47, welcome back. This heat wave is a reminder that if it's too hot for you, it is most likely too hot for your pets. The Louisiana SPCA is here to explain the signs of heat exhaustion and ways to keep them comfortable in these extreme weather conditions. Rebecca Melanson is joining us now. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. Who do you have here?
I have Corinth. He's a 2-month-old kitten. He's part of a litter of 2, and he's looking for his forever home, and he is just the sweetest little cat.
He looks like he is. He's been so calm there with his little lemur tail.
He does. He kind of gives lemur vibes.
Yeah. But with that being said, cats as young, kittens as young as Corinth, and grown kittens, you've got them out there. You've got to make sure that they're okay in these temperatures.
Absolutely. Like you said, you have to watch out for your younger and older crowds, just like you do for humans. The older and younger, both dogs and cats, you have to watch out when it is so hot. Make sure they always have access to clean water. That's pretty cool. You don't need it ice cold, but don't have it baking in the sun. You don't want hot water. You want to make sure they're spending a lot of time inside. It's hot outside. And if they can avoid some outside time, feel free, find some more enrichment in the house. For cats, that might mean a little extra playtime. For dogs, that might mean things that stimulate their mind, like the logic puzzles that the dogs do to find their treats or things like that.
We had a veterinarian on the last hour, and he was talking about how he's just seen at his practice alone this summer an increase in the number of animals that have come in because of heat-related illnesses.
Yeah, we've seen the same thing in our shelter. It's 4 or 5 animals that come in a week. We respond to stray calls and things like that. So just the stray animals, your heart can't help but go out to them in times like this when it's extremely hot and extremely cold. They don't have any shelter or really anyone to take care of them. So unfortunately, sometimes that means heat exhaustion is a real thing and heat stroke, and not all of them make it.
The tip is to make sure that your pet lives inside, but some people may have a dog outside on a day like this. What are some suggestions for them?
Yeah, so the suggestion is don't leave them outside unattended for extended periods of time. What extended period of time really depends on your dog and what they can handle in terms of heat. Some dogs, like golden retrievers or Labradors, love to be outside. That is where their bread and butter is. But some dogs, like pugs and things with short faces, the bulldogs, they have trouble breathing already. So you don't want to introduce another element that makes it more difficult for them to exist. Watch out for signs. If they start panting a lot, if they are lethargic and they're just not themselves. The typical nausea, vomiting, that's the sign, hey, something's really wrong and we immediately need to cool off.
Now, is it easier to care for the dog in situations like this than a cat? Because cats tend to have their own way about them.
Yeah, it's about what and what. An animal in need is an animal in need. They both respond about the same. In terms of heat exhaustion, it's the same symptoms. They both don't have sweat glands in the way that we do, so they aren't able to cool their bodies off. So that's when we pull out the frozen peas or,
makes sense.
put them in the bathtub and kind of not ice cold water, but cool water.
All right, well, Rebecca, thank you so much. And Corinth, thank you. You were so well behaved, and hopefully someone sees you and takes you home.
I hope so too.
Thank you.